Wejibwemojig kinukiji condition of cause. Wejibwemojig I want to teach verb types. Okay. There are 4 verb types in their subclasses. There's VAI, VAI, VII, VTI, VTA. VAI means verb animate intransitive, means the subject is animate, not doing anything to anybody. Subject means the one that's doing the verb. Verb inanimate, that would back up. That's like she is eating, she's sleeping, she's thinking, she's running. But we're not talking about her doing anything to anybody or anything. VI, verb inanimate, subject intransitive. That means that whatever the verb they're doing doesn't transfer onto an object. It doesn't transfer onto an object. It's just doing it by itself, like a box. A box can be heavy, it can be new, it can be old, it can be green, red, small, big. A box can do a lot of things without doing anything to anybody. Okay? Verb transitive. Now, the verb in this case, the subject could be either inanimate or animate, so they don't mark it in there. Does it transfer onto an object? Yes, it does. And the object is animate here. And the verb transfer onto something that's the action of the verb. The subject could be inanimate or animate, so they don't put the marker here in there. But in this case, it transfers onto an object, and definitely, for sure, the object is inanimate. You got to know those because they got different rules for each of the different conjugations, a little bit different for each of them. So if we're going to say, first of all, there should have been 4 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4 slots. But they only put 3, even though it describes 4 different aspects. What word class? They're all verbs. The subject, the doer, the ones that doing it. It's either inanimate or animate object. Sorry, subject, the one that's doing the verb. Transitivity. Does it transfer or not transfer? Intransitive means it does not transfer. Therefore, there is no object. So they really should have said verb inanimate intransitive. Therefore, there is no object. And this one is verb animate, subject like him or her or a drum or tobacco. Those are animate. A feather is animate. If it's not doing anything or described doing anything to anybody specifically, it's intransitive. There's no object in the conversation. So it's a verb, the animate, object, inanimate, intransitive, therefore no object. And it's left blank. And in VTI's verb, the VTI's, again, the subject could be inanimate or animate, so they leave it blank. Does it transfer onto an object? Yes. In this case, it transfers on an object that's inanimate. So it should have been V0TR or V blank TI. Then we got VTA, verb, VTA, verb, the subject could be either one, animate or inanimate, but definitely the object is only animate. It is counted. It is counted. It's not doing anything to anybody or anything. It is counted. Therefore, it's VAI. Aginjigade. She is counted. VAI. She didn't say she's counting her or she's counting it. She's just counting. Minding her own business, counting. Could be counting in her head. Or just practicing numbers or something. Count him. Count him. This is a VTA because it says him or her. I'll put this means him or her. Count him or her. Animate. She or he or it is counting him or her. Count it. It or she is counting it. Those are the root words. Let's use them in a sentence. She was counted. It already happened, so we got to put a tense marker on there. And I go to the rule book to see what it says. Do I put any conjugations for it was counted? And I go down. I go down to VI's. All right, VI it. It, they use 0 for it, singular. It says don't put anything, don't add any of these things on here, any of these affixes. Just use the root word by itself. So that's what I did, but I needed a tense marker, so I stuck a tense marker on there. It was counted. She was counted. So I go back to the rule book and I want to say she. And these are VI's. I got to go down to VAI's. So I go down to VAI's. Those are the commands. Got to keep going. She. I'm first person perspective. You're second person perspective. She says don't add anything. Just use the what word as it is. These are all the other conjugations. So the VTIs, VTAs, and VAIs, etc., they all have different conjugations, subtle differences, but they are different. So you got to know which one to use and why you're using it. And in this case, it says for she or he, singular, just leave it blank. Don't add anything onto it. So I didn't. But because it's past tense was, I put a tense marker, not a person marker, a tense marker. It already says she or he with the O on the back there. I didn't add anything. I used the root word. So that's VAI. She was counted. It was counted. She was counted. She counted him. She counted him. I got to use the VTA, which is agim. And again, I go to the rule chart and I go look around. There says she to him. It says put O in the front, put on in the back. There's the root word. I also stuck a tense marker. She already counted him. So the sentence, or the verb part of the sentence, verb phrase says she counted him. Nijing twice. She counted him or her. It transferred onto an object that's animate. She counted it yesterday. The root word is again done. I go to the rules. That chart, it says for she to it one thing. It says that A is going to stretch out to 2 ways. On the root word, again done, it says put O in the front. But notice here, O in the front, on in the back, these are different beasts. VTI. This one says agim, this one says agind. So when you're speaking, you need to know, did she count him or did she count it? On this one, she counted him, and on this one, she counted it. That's why you got to know the difference between these 4 verb types, so you know which one to use and how to use them correctly. All right, so I go to the dictionary and I look up eat, and it gives me 3 ways of saying we sini. She or he eats. VTA, eat him or her. Eat something that's animate, like pancake or bread. Eat it, something inanimate, like deer meat is inanimate. It's kind of cool, like I think blueberries are inanimate, but raspberries are animate. Who knows why? I think they're just messing with us a long time ago. Or they flipped the coin or something. Here we go. So it's Wisini Amoamijin. So this says she is eating. It's a VAI. Why? Because she's not doing anything to anybody. She's minding her own business, eating. We didn't say she's eating him, the bread. Bread's animate. We didn't say pancakes are animate. We didn't say she's eating it. We just said she's eating. So it's the VAI, we sine. Now if we say eat it, I go to the rules, the grammar conjugation chart, and it says put O in the front. That's all you got to do. She is eating it. So that's a VTI sentence. And the root word is mijin. She is eating bread. Bread is animate. Okay. It says put the O, put O in the front, on in the back. And if I go back to this chart, it's got little tiny rules in there, and it tells you that if we're sticking it on a suffix, the O is going to change to a W. That makes it groove smoother. And it says there's different types of O's. If you're sticking on a vowel, use OD, O de moi. But anyways, it's a verb transitive animate sentence because she is eating something animate. Subject is she. The verb is eating. Is it transitive? Is it doing it to something, someone or something? Yes. And when she's doing it to something, she's eating him or her. That's the object is animate. Therefore, it's a VTA. And that's in a nutshell. That's the difference between VAI, VII, VAI, VTA, VTI. Let's go back and review just a little bit before we close. Verb inanimate, it's something minding its own business. The cup is full, the cup is empty, the cup is half full. Animate intransitive, meaning there's no object. He is smart, he is tall, he is short, he is thinking, he is happy, he is sad. But we're not talking about he likes him or he likes it. He's just happy. He's sitting there minding his own business, being happy. This one is he likes her, he likes it. Verb transitive. There's a verb. The verb is like. Does it transfer onto an object? Yes, and the object is animate. He likes her. She's animate. He likes it. He likes deer meat. Ominwendan wawashkeshi wu ias. Verb. The verb is like. Is it transferring onto an object? Yes. Are we talking about an object? Yeah, we're talking about deer meat. So therefore there's an object. He likes deer meat. And that's the verb classes. Miigwech miigwech bizindawyek. Kigawa minawa pi. Banama a pi.